All right, everybody. Welcome to the Mimi Show. As you can see, I am not in my house. I am not with the banner. I'm in LA because I'm having a photo shoot tomorrow, and we're showing off my tiny. So look forward to that. The Mimi Show, as always, is brought to you with the love and support of viewers like you and Lil Skunky Products and JV Media Productions. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Stay skunky and turn your vision into a reality. I am here with the Mason Pot guys. How you doing?
Great to be here tonight.
Good.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. My understanding and what I like to do is, of course, show off amazing things, products, people, whatnot. And what you guys have is a legitimate business with a legitimate product that legitimately work, and it fits to a certain lifestyle of people that do infusions. So tell me about the Mason Pot.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So, the Mason Pot was born out of just love for infusing, love of the game. I'd used a bunch of methods, like the old school, stovetop, just doing stuff in the oven, using other kind of fancier infusion methods as well. So, over time, I was like, hey, let me think how I can make this the best as possible, kind of fix some of these problems I saw throughout the infusing process, and really just simplify it and just get it to the masses for like the best price point possible, but always with like a product that's going to continue to work consistently and really get your infusion dialed in from the temperature to the press to how you strain it. And really with a big thing for us too, which you do so great, is the content. We're all about creating educational content, and we're never going to stop putting our, foot on the gas with that.
What was the first problem that you encountered that you're like, oh no, we can fix this. This is here. We can do this.
you know, there were a couple for sure. I would say initially just the initial infusion, the way it would, even just in a regular jar, doing it in the oven. That's why like the silicone sleeve was born. A big one though too that's underestimated is the straining aspect. When you're straining it through, I was putting on like rubber gloves for the cheesecloth. I'm like squeezing the cheesecloth out, and I'm like, okay, there's definitely a way to make this better. Really simplify this. So that's why we had the puck and press, and then the fine strainer at the end. And it's all in one too. So that was a big thing too. Not only once you have your infusion, like how can you utilize this device to make all in one recipes? We have like 60-second recipes we like to do. So, and again, like on the go too.
Do you have a cookbook?
Packed up, but I'll break it out here right now.
Yay!
Yeah, we still got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got it. That's how it comes. It's like a little like this, and then comes in a box like this. So it's all here. You can take it on the go. This is actually just a magnet you can throw on your refrigerator, flip it around.
That's right.
And then you pop it open. You scan the QR code here. We'll pull up the full manual, all the videos, everything you need to know. We have step-by-step instructions. This is also something that was underestimated, is a microfiber cloth. It was like one of the last additions in the game.
Okay.
And that's for cleaning it off, cleaning it at the end, hot soap and water. And you just put it right back in here and you're good to go. And like
for cleaning.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep it clean. And then we got
And
everything
I like that color. I love it. I like you put it in a lunchbox though.
Yeah, we're bringing it old school. That's part of it. Bring it OG, giving a throwback to the old school, and it's like that's what we're all about here. Just again making it simple, but also like dialing it in, having the thermometer to really get the accurate temperature in here, whether you're decarbing or infusing, and really just being able to dial in the process with simplicity and ease and consistency. And this one's going to be coming to you for sure.
When you say, I'm sorry?
I said this one's going to be shipping out to you for sure. Appreciate you having us on.
Okay. So we got to do a demonstration for you guys. Okay. I was going to say, when you say the measuring the heat, it has shut up. Okay. So it has a thermometer.
Yeah, hop in.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in. So one of the best parts about Mason Pot's creation, in my opinion, I like to brag about Jack, is him and his brother really built Mason Pot literally in the garage. I mean, it's that old school approach. You got a drill press in there dialing in the calculations. And they made something that I think is so smart, because if you've done an infusion, you might have like even a digital screen, right? This big appliance, coffee machine style on your kitchen countertop, right? But you might getting an overall temperature, but you have no idea. Is that the top of the jar? Right. Is that just the open air temperature? Is that the temperature at the bottom, meaning where the actual infusion is happening with your bud meeting the oil? So by having, they basically created the top of the jar has a perfect little hole in it where you can put the thermometer into the bottom of the jar. So you're getting the temperature from the bottom of the jar where the infusion is actually happening. So it's very precise, very calculated. You're in complete control of the infusion. So you know the exact temperature of where the infusion is actually happening, which of course is really what you want to measure, because it's a little bit of, you know, there's some science involved, right? The carbing, you're infusing, you're using heat. So you do want some precise calculations. And the way that Jack
and with all this that's being talked about the percentages of things, you need that's essential to know the heat index and what it is that you're, you know, everybody wants the specifics, and the more specific you get, the better. So that's wonderful. Did you ever, did you guys tinker like when you were kids? Like,
Oh
did
yeah,
you tinker? Did you break down things? Did you build things up? Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
where this kind of comes from inside, just being you? Just let's make, you have it already in you to make things and make something.
That's a
Because this
great
is
question.
new. I've never seen anything like that. You just made something up.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's and I tell people about this. It's like growing up, I have 7 brothers and sisters, and I shared a room with my younger brother. So when we go to bed at night, we just lay down. He was across the other side of the room, and we just have invention ideas, like creating random things. Like we used to be laying like, how about we do this? And like we used to build motorized bicycles together. We used to and we sell those too. So we've always kind of had that creative, like entrepreneur spirit, and just always loved trying to figure out how to not necessarily fix problems, but also like have fun with it and figure out like, hey, there's a better way sometimes to do things, is always the way we looked at it. And some of the ideas we had back in the day when we were kids were just crazy, and we just make crazy little inventions that, you know, didn't necessarily pan out. But we've always kind of had that spark in us of just creating, and it's always been fun.
Like Sandlot item, like Sandlot, trying to figure out how to grab them.
Yeah, we'd be, and also too,
I
just like
love
building
it.
forts, making little courses and stuff like that. Just always creating something.
Yeah, good job, good boys, good job. The where did the shape and the container, is that like an iteration thereof? Has there been version 1.0, one, like, is this like the third one, or?
Yeah, in terms of like the packaging itself, this is probably version 2 or 3, but in terms of like the version of like the overall product, we probably did at least 10 different ones, especially with like the pressing component. We had some that just didn't quite work out that looked pretty cool, but then we found the way we had them, like the oil was kind of maybe going not the way we liked it, or the butter, or like maybe we had one that had a screw on it. We found that a little oil was getting stuck in the threads a little bit, so we wanted to simplify it and kind of separate the 2 pieces. So there's been a lot of iterations of how to figure it out. And that's why we did the puck and press instead of having them combined. And there's cool things you can do with both of those too, even outside of the cannabis world. And that's the cool thing about this too. I only use it really for cannabis for the most part, but you can I've done some garlic oils. I've done other oils in here. You can do teas. Like you can really do a lot with it. But yeah, to your point, we've had a lot of iterations and settled on this one after some time. Like the last one before this one, we finally thought we had it, and we're like, oh, we can make it better. So that's what we're all about, is trying to bring the best shit out there.
Is there a cookbook when you scan that QR? Like, is there?
Yeah. And there's more recipes that need to be added. If you go to the manual and scroll down, there's probably like 10 or 15 recipes. But if you go to our website, we have like, I think probably 150 blogs on there. And on YouTube, we have like 250 videos. So again, just the education aspect.
When I get it in my hand, I'd like to use your recipes, and you know the way that you say, because I do better with instructions written and viewed, and I need all the ways to tell me all the ways before I get started, so I can, you know, so I can do it right. So yeah, we'll find one of your recipes and one of your infusions that you've already got in one of your blogs, and we'll do it over here. Mimi style.
Absolutely. So curious, if you don't mind me asking, if have you ever made an infusion? Have you ever done an infusion?
Oh, I want to say the way I did it was wrong. The way I've done my infusions, like butter, it wasn't right, and there's no freaking way how much or what I was doing in there. I just you watch movies and you think you just put the weed in the butter and you cook it and then you pull it out and then, but it's not. And I know the flavor, it wasn't kicking right. Um, what I ended up doing was buying the oils, buying what's already made to make sure I do get the milligram right. Okay, I know that this little vial is going to be 10-20 milligrams per cookie, or whatever. Otherwise, no, that for me to actually measure a heat and know what I'm doing. It just seems like infusion is a very personal process because no one has given you a way to do it with a map. Like this is the quote quote best way, or the quote quote right way, or here's the better way than just figuring it out.
That's one of the best parts.
Have you seen that in movies? It's
yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a real thing. I mean, I had never done an infusion before joining Mason Pot. When Jack first called me about the idea of Mason Pot, he was spitting out this amazing business idea. Hey, we're going to bring an infuser to the market and make it simple. And I was the prime candidate because I love cannabis, but I've never, ever done an infusion. It always seemed very daunting to me. Like, wow, that's a scientific process. I have no idea how that's going to go. I'm probably just going to mess it up. I'd rather just go to the
I just jump in like a fool.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I was feeling like a fool, right? But what's nice is, so Jack's created this step-by-step process. And for someone like myself, I had never done anything like that. But I feel like if I buy a box of cake and I turn it over and it goes, okay, you need 3 eggs, a little bit of oil and this or that, I can bake a cake. It's the exact same thing. So if you feel confident that you can turn over a box of cake, you can actually make your own homemade infusion. It blew my mind because I'd never done that before. And all I did was got my Mason Pot from Jack. I scanned the QR code, pops up with like the link tree and everything. The top thing, it says, hey, step-by-step process. And I follow that. It's literally a few steps. Boom, you get
anybody can do it. Anybody.
You put it in the jar.
At this point,
put it in the
now
oven,
everybody can infuse.
let it decarb, add your oil, put it back in. It was that simple, just a few steps. And before I knew it, boom, I had a huge Mason Pot full of heavily infused potent olive oil. You put that into a little tincture bottle. And before I knew, I'm like, wow, I have a little tincture bottle sitting next to my stove, next to my salt, my olive oil, whatever. And whenever I'm cooking, I just take that finished product and I just got my little bamboo, Mason Pot tincture. And my olive oil just bop right over my food, my toast, into my coffee, maybe right under the tongue before going to the gym.
That you made yourself.
Yeah, and you have a tincture right there. That's what my favorite personal part of being part of Mason Pot is learning the process, how actual simple it is. We think it's really complicated, but then you actually do it. And it's about 3 steps, and your infusion goes so far. You control it. You know what's inside. Like we've all been to dispensaries. You buy gummies or whatever, and you have no idea what's inside. We do a lot of DIY with a lot of things. We make our own smoothies, whatever. We don't think about a lot with cannabis. We just go out and just buy. But you have no idea. Is it indica in there? Is it sativa? Is it hybrid? What's the potency of the flower?
Right.
So by doing your own infusion,
can you trust the label? Now that there's all these numbers, like.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite strain?
What's the number? I do. My favorite strain is from a particular brand, Lowell Smokes Happy Hybrid, and it's so hard for me to find. But that's my strain. It's called Happy Hybrid.
That's
from Lowell Smokes, besides that, the good old fashions, OG Kushes, and I like any Kush. When it comes to infusing, though, I go for indicas. Even if I'm just figuring it out, I always pick an indica because my mind says, okay, you want the best one because you don't know really what you're doing. So go with an indica because it's going to calm you. That's what the terpenes are. They're the right terpenes. You just said a decarb and all this, this jargon that you're going to now become a master of once you get the Mason Pot, right? Because you teach us that too.
Absolutely. And yeah, we have a lot of content on that. And it's funny too, within the decarb thing, especially since THCA in the hemp world's been so popping off, it's become way more of a prevalent thing, even outside of infusing. Because for the first time, besides infusing, people are kind of asking what decarb is. Before, I never saw people asking about it unless they're making edibles. Now with this whole THCA boom, people are curious about it. And it's really simple. It's just turning that THCA into THC using a heat method. So it's like just like you're smoking a joint
I
or taking.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had THC. I went to I made some content in Nashville, and I
Oh,
went to a THCA shop, and I asked them, I'm like, what do I tell the people that say that this isn't real weed, you know? And he's like, well, it is. But if he would have also explained to me the decarb process, the decarbonation or whatnot process that turns the, you know, I think I would have understood it a little differently. So it being that's the process in infusion. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it. So I'm excited for you guys being across the country. Then where are you selling it now?
we're mostly focused on e-commerce nationwide. We've got a
Okay.
couple like Germany sales, Australia sales, and Sweden sales. But apart from that, really just because the shipping out there is just really expensive. You know, if people in Europe are buying, the shipping's almost as much as the unit itself, which also makes us happy because it's like, oh, you're willing to do that. But we're shipping from the Midwest. You know, lots of
You're in
Cali, East
Arkansas.
Coast. Sorry,
You're in Arkansas.
Kansas City.
You're in you're in Kansas City. Kansas City.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
Arkansas.
Hey, well, I mean, if you take off the AR, it's basically there.
another another stoner moment. I'm not.
No way.
Have you guys been best friends this whole time?
We've
I'm
been
sorry.
since college. We met. We went actually to the University of Kansas. Speaking of Kansas, so we met out there. I've been out in Cali, where we first met up. I was out there for about 10 years. I grew up in New Jersey, but yeah, we linked up at KU and just been homies since.
Yeah, going about
That's
15
amazing.
years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
15. That's lifetime. That's lifetime. Yeah, and you're making and you have this business and you guys are doing it together and your brother, right? Because it's 3 or 4 with your sister.
Yeah, got the sisters helping out with content.
How-
Got the older bros too helping on some like kind of higher level, kind of like how to scale the business type stuff. And just
Right.
that's a big thing of mine is like even with the, you know, whether you're like just building the family aspect and like the family owned aspect is like that's such a huge thing to me in my personal life. So I really wanted to bring that to the business of creating a
Definitely.
family oriented environment where we're all here as a community to help each other infuse and, you know, keep creating the content, educating, and just really creating that family environment. And I think that's what, you know, the cannabis industry is so cool about in the community is like it is one big family in so many ways. And especially out in the California market, even working for some companies I worked for in the past, I feel like that's kind of forgotten sometimes. Like the grassroots and the beauty of the plant and the industry as a whole and the community of people there. And I really wanted to bring that into the product. And so that's like a big focus and kind of an lying thing that's a through line for us.
You've created a thing and I'm excited to use it, but from what I've seen, it's like another device that will be essential in your kitchen. You know, it seems like you got your, you know, because now it's like everybody has an instant pot and everybody has an air fryer. You know, so you've made another thing that we need to have in the kitchen. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. That's what it's all about. I love you saying that. And that's a cool thing too. Again, like the portability of it too, just being like, take it to a homie's place and cook up there, or like, even like I like displaying it on the countertop, but you know,
Yeah,
everybody's
we do
different.
that a lot. Everybody gets their little dab rig and takes it with them in a case. Like from, you know, I see my friends and whatnot. We'll take our devices with us, and like today, I could have brought it with me, and then when we cook, we could have, you know, infused something and would have done it. And it's just that our devices become a part of, you know, our lifestyle and what we do. So it's nice to have something new and it's exciting because I've never seen anything before to simplify it to that way where, like you're saying, it's 3 steps in 3 steps, and I know what I'm doing. I'm excited, right?
I'm excited to get this shipped out to
I
you
know,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
yeah. Man, we're gonna show off. We're gonna show off because I like to cook, and I need to cook more online. I need to cook more online. It's fun. It gets to be fun. Um, and I'm excited about not having to keep purchasing these things. If I don't have to, I can make it at home. That's what we want. That's what we want. And talk to me. What's that?
So this is really cool. So if you think about it, if you making your own infusion at home, like going off what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
If you get, with the Mason pot, once you have bud, all you're doing, once again, you're putting bud in a jar, putting it in the oven, letting the heat do its thing, just activating the THC, take it out of the oven, put your oil in, put it back in the oven, let the oil infuse with this decarbed bud now, right? Once you get it out of the oven, you can put in these little bamboo jars, which of course we have as well. Imagine as you're cooking, you have one of these with olive oil, coconut
Bring
oil.
it closer. Bring it closer.
Yeah, it's basically just like a little bamboo.
It is a wooden jar, isn't it?
Yeah,
This little
it's
sanctuary.
ruined bamboo on this one. So it's cool. It's nice. It feels good. It's just fun. So you can imagine this like right next to your oven, and you have this, and at the end, whatever you're cooking, whether it's toast in the morning, your coffee in the morning, anything you're making, period, you can then take these out, and you got your olive oil, coconut oil, MCT oil, whatever, put it right on top. Or of course, you can just take this right with you to the movie theaters, the picnic, grandma's house, whatever. Put a few drops under your tongue, boom, you're getting lifted. So
Everybody's Christmas stocking. You're getting an infusion.
For real. You're getting it. You're getting it.
That's
Yep.
it.
That was actually fun giving some of these for Christmas too, and people giving them as gifts. And to his point too, I like
that. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was saying I like to that point, like the trifecta I believe in having on hand at all times is an infused butter, infused coconut oil / MCT oil, and infused olive oil. With that, you can really do whatever you want. And if you have those on hand, you can kind of rotate them. You could have 3 different strains. You could have 3 of the same strain. Like you could do so much with it, and that's why I love to call it the trifecta. Just geeking out on that a little bit.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The whole thing is amazing. Because I can foresee just what is the word when people say it's a home or what's it called? Like just a word.
Like
I'm
DIY.
freaking missing the word. Not a DIY, but like a staple in the house because you're going into changing the way people give gifts. And people like making their own gifts for people. And then when it comes to cannabis and all that, we are a community that enjoys sharing the bud and what comes out of it. So that you're changing now and adding, those elements of now you can give it as a gift and you know how you did it. And that's something added on to that, to the a household, making it a household product. A household thing. That's what I'm saying. Like it's it's gonna be the kitchen, the new kitchen device. New kitchen
Let's
device,
go.
next to the air fryer, next to just yeah. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited. And I'll ask you one more question, and then see if there's anything else that you want to tell the people. But what's your opinion on doing these kind of things with a microwave? And why didn't you come up with a way in microwave you like? Why are we doing it in this way?
So you said like microwave, you said?
Yeah. Like why don't people do the decarving in the microwave? Why are we still using the oven?
Yeah.
And why was it chosen as the best way to do it?
For sure. And with this too, you can use oven, stovetop, or crock pot, or you could even use, I haven't used the air fryer if the temperature range is right there. Basically anything that adds heat, you could even do it on a barbecue grill if you really wanted to. But I think the reason for the microwave, and I've had friends
that's fun.
Is like, and that barbecue thing gave me a new other idea. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But the in terms of the microwave,
write it down somewhere else.
It just kind of like zaps it, It's more of really the way the microwave works is heating up which most things do. Even the oven is, really activating the water chemicals in there. So like within a minute of the microwave reheating is just more inconsistent, and you will probably zap off way more of the cannabinoids and terpenes in there. As opposed to keeping it at a consistent temperature, I think is the biggest aspect, whether using a crock pot, stovetop, or oven. So I think there's ways that the microwave could work. I just think the efficiency element of the microwave would not even compare to those 3 other methods I mentioned. But it is a fascinating idea. And I think that there are ways you can do it. But again, too, with that, even if something has that way to it, I'm kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it in a way. Because it's like, maybe it will work, but maybe you are losing out on a lot of stuff. So maybe you do get a hit from it, but maybe the hit's not as good as it could be.
Have you heard of that? Of people putting their joints in the microwave?
I've had a buddy try to cure it in the microwave and try to infuse it.
You tried it?
I didn't. He did. He said he would, like, he had his wet buds from a fresh harvest, and he tried to cure them in the microwave, and we like smoked it, and it just tasted weird and like just didn't hit right. So, and then he tried to make an infusion in there. It didn't really do either. But I personally haven't. That was my point. Snoop
put a joint in there for 15 seconds, talking about he cures it for 15 seconds in the microwave. Snoop, he had posted a video.
True. Hey, I'm trying.
That's what he said. He said he puts a joint in the microwave for 15 seconds before, to cure it. I still didn't try it. I'm like, go ahead, Snoop, do your thing. But that's why it's about the microwave, because I've been hearing different things about people doing stuff in the microwave.
Respect. And is he using freshly harvested bud when he does that, or is he using already cured bud?
You know what? I don't know.
Cured.
But I'm gonna guess and assume that it's already cured.
15-second J in the microwave tonight.
I'm guessing that it's already, because if it's in a joint roll, I'm sure it's already cured.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Yeah. Interesting. Food for thought, for sure.
That's why I ask, because y'all are the infusion people.
Hey,
I'm just learning.
No, I love it, and that's where, like, trust me, this is going to be, you just inspired some content off that, and that's why I love having conversations like this. It's like what it's all about. Like, all right, let me make a video infusing in the microwave. Let's see what happens. And then again, you inspired me on that and the barbecue. I'm gonna now make like a smoky infusion, like almost try to infuse it with like a smoky flavor. So thank you for that tip.
Can you see me? Okay, yeah. Something happened. Okay, here we go. Yeah, yes, but I heard everything you said. Something was on my camera. Glad, yes, be inspired. Write all them things down. Don't let me, take you out of forgetting. And let me know and show me what it is that you make up with. Because when you said barbecue, I said hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, let's go. What's your favorite? Do you have
barbecue?
Yeah, do you have a favorite barbecue like meat you like, or do you have a favorite barbecue dish?
You know what? I'm getting really into lamb right now and grilling lamb. And I've always, steak, chicken, fish, steak, chicken. So I'm trying new meats and figuring that out. So I'd like to. I'm gonna infuse my lamb shanks.
Nice. That's what I'm
gonna do.
I'll send you a recipe too. I have this dish like a lamb and hummus dish. It's like a Lebanese style dish. And I actually haven't done an infusion on that one yet, but I usually do add a fair amount of oil. But it uses ground lamb and a bunch of different seasonings, and you just put it on like some toasted naan with the hummus and little tzitziki on there. So I think that would be a nice infusion combo. And I feel like lamb has so much flavor too, that even depending what infusion you're using, work well together. I think lamb would be like a perfect infusion meat, actually.
Like an infused, like lamb pate type of thing?
Or just like putting the oil. You got me. I told
bring the caviar. Bring the caviar. Yes, I love it. You guys, thank you. Thank you for coming on here and talking to me and teaching us about infusion. And I'm looking forward to sharing your product. I want to cook with it. I want to infuse it. I want to see what I can do with it and how we can share it with the people so they can see how easy it is. Because if Mimi can do it, you can do it. Do you want to say anything else to the people before we go?
I mean, I would say, I mean, obviously
Besides,
we're
find them at the Mason Pot, right?
yeah. So masonpot.com is full of so much content. And if you go to YouTube, I mean, I really believe YouTube is the best. I mean, Jack has put out so many videos of really high quality, easy to follow, clear, concise content. It's so good. Anybody who wants to learn what does decarbing mean, how to infuse, what are the best oils, and maybe if you're looking at olive oil, what's the best brand of olive oil that best connects with cannabis? There's just so much content on there. So I had to go check that out. Obviously, we're rolling into April 20th. We're gonna have some sweet deals going on. Maybe Jack can maybe touch on the deals we got going on for April 20th. But more than anything, we just have so much going on. We offer an affiliate program. We got it all. So we really do.
So when I start cooking, I need to get it sponsored by the Mason Pot and use it on every show in some way, shape, or form. When I start making these, having a cooking show, I'm going for an Emmy at some point. You know it's happening, right?
Let's go. And let's collab on that.
We're gonna
too.
get an Emmy.
Let's go.
You
Let's
guys,
go.
you guys are gonna help me. All of you are helping me get an Emmy. It's gonna happen.
Let's
It's a
go.
matter of time.
Let's go. I feel it.
So thank you guys again. Thank you. The Mason Pot. These guys have made something that doesn't exist until now. This is the new thing that you want in your house. Watch me play with it once I get it over here, and we'll see here how easy it is and how I want to do before and after, how little my eyes can get, how good how good I can really infuse my lamb shanks and hummus and whatnot. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming on and sharing about your product. I'm excited. I'm excited about your future. I'm
Hey,
excited
back to you.
about the. Thank you. Well, that was the Mimi Show, y'all. Make sure you watch. Go to YouTube, and the clips are coming to Instagram. And that was it. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good one. That was the Mimi Show.
All right. Thank you. Let's go.